In this video, I'll be diving a little deeper into load times in XR, so let's go ahead and get started. As I've mentioned in my best practices article, Load Times in XR, VR users in particular are a captive audience. This is because their eyes, and probably their ears, are covered and they have nothing to do but sit or stand and wait for the environment to load while the scene changes. Taking a long time for a new scene to load can be frustrating enough in a 2D experience. In VR, it's much more noticeable and thus can be all the more frustrating, and in some cases, if you don't have a load screen at all, it can be confusing. Ideally, you want to avoid the need for long load times through scene optimization. However, sometimes it's still unavoidable depending on the hardware of the participant and many other reasons. With that in mind, there are some design best practices that can be used to reduce frustration and confusion. The Lab by Valve is a collection of experimental mini-experiences they had created during their research and development efforts to get a better understanding of virtual reality as a platform. They use simple 360-degree images that preview the mini-experience that's currently loading. Their load scenes maintain head tracking and include audio to keep you from thinking the experience is frozen. This app also holds a special place in my heart as it was one of the earlier experiences that I studied during my own transition into the XR space. Ghost Giant by Zoink AB is a VR puzzle experience for the Oculus Quest and the PlayStation VR. Their load scenes are unique in that they keep you engaged while you're waiting for the next scene by letting you draw in the air with sparkling blue lines of light. Even though the load times are sometimes longer, you don't really care because who doesn't like drawing random sparkly lines in the air? It's a clever solution with a simple interaction that doesn't cause a big performance drain. I highly encourage you to check out both of these experiences for yourselves. I've included the links below in the show notes. So for a quick recap, use visual and audio cues to let people know the experience is loading. Don't show a solid black scene with no audio, as this will make people think the application froze or crashed completely. Maintain head tracking at all times. Don't use static images as a load scene with head tracking turned off. Keep the load scenes consistent to reduce confusion as to what's happening. Use smaller file sizes or performance loads for load scenes in order to avoid latency issues, as this can cause discomfort and even vertigo. Consider using a 360 image of the scene that's currently loading so that people can get acquainted with the next scene while it's still loading. If possible, include a way for people to remain engaged even while waiting for the next scene to load.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has